Well, good afternoon. Quest for Thunder, Saturday, April the 13th. A couple of days away from tax day. Hope everybody's got their taxes filed and are looking forward to some scrumptious refunds. I, on the other hand, have not completed my filing yet. And I guess the reason is because I'm not anticipating a scrumptious refund. So I'm kind of waiting till the last minute because I have a feeling gonna have to pay in. Didn't have enough withheld during the year. My goal is to have a zero refund, pay nothing in, get nothing back, so that I have use of all of my money all year long, or at least what's mine according to Uncle Sugar. When you get a tax refund, I see that as you're giving the federal government a interest-free loan because they're not paying the interest on that money that's actually yours. That's why you're getting a refund. It's your money. I'd rather have it all year long and not receive a refund. I know. My wife, Jean, she's just the opposite. She's like, oh, no, I like to get the refund. It's like getting a windfall at the end of the year. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I know, but it's like your money. You could have been using it to do something else with, putting it in the bank, drawing interest on it. Anyway. So in trying to do that and trying to make those fine adjustments so that I get a zero, last couple of years I've had to pay in a little, and so kind of hoping that I won't have to do that this year, that it'll be a big fat zero, but I don't think so. So anyway, I digress. Sorry. Tax info, tax tip, if you will. Yeah, I'm not a tax professional. Don't listen to anything I say. That's what I'm doing. So anyway, what are we doing here today? Well, first thing I had to do was clean the boat off a little bit because it's been a lot of rain and it's been warm, so we've had a lot of just goobers growing all over the boat. We're not here every single day, so it's difficult for us to stay up on that. So I did that a little bit, and then I came down here and I'm starting to get ready to do the floors. I'll work on the floors again. I've got this section in this narrow passageway that I need to get out before I start working on the aft cabin. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to set the camera up so you can see how I'm getting up close to this furniture where the teak and holly actually runs up underneath the cabinetry, making the flush cut there. So I'll set the camera up for you to see that, and we'll get to it. Thanks. Alright, so to get back in here, to this section back in here, I'm going to have to change the blade. I need more of a plunge cut so I can get up close to these corners in here, because it has some geometry in here. It goes in here this way and then goes along the side. This is a different angle than this. You're probably wondering, well, why aren't you putting up some tape? You're marring the side of your cabinetry. But I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna wind up sanding all this down anyway to redo it. So I'm not too concerned about putting up any tape. I'm more concerned about just getting this out of here. So yep, so it's time to change the blade. this. This gets pretty hot. So this is the blade. It's a plunge cut blade for wood. Basically the same idea as the other blade, except it's thinner and square so that I can get it up into the corners better. Like that. Have it. Let's get in there and clean that up a bit. Alright, so any areas that are a little proud, like this one's a little proud right here, I'll use the sander to take that down. Once I get all of this out, before we get ready to put the new stuff in, I'll go around and sand all this down, make sure that there's nothing standing proud from behind the cabinet here. So yeah, it's a slow process, but I can't get in there with a circular saw, and I guess a toe kick saw would have been a bit quicker, but I don't want to buy a toe kick saw for just this little bit here, and no one seems to have them for rent. So anyway, all right, so I'm gonna change the blade again and we'll continue on with the rest of this section. Find it a little easier if I get a channel started, and then I can go back down and get the depth that I need. Need to let my tool cool a little. That's the problem with the multi-tool, using the multi-tool, is that it does heat up, and then if you don't let it cool, it'll shut off on you, and then it takes a while for it to cool off beyond the point where it'll start up again. So it's pretty hot. So I'm gonna let it cool for a bit. Yeah. Making progress, slow but progress nonetheless. Oh. These knee things, lifesavers right here. I was trying to do some stuff without them, where I was crawling around on the floor. Man, oh man, these things have made such a huge difference, especially on an old guy like me, whose knees are pretty shot. These things are invaluable. Invaluable. Alright, so here's the finished job. We'll get all that around the nav station there. It's bunged up a bit in this corner here, but get the sander out and take care of that. There's a couple of spots that are real proud, like right there. Again, sanding will take care of that. Just sand it anyway. To refinish it, all along here, it's all taken out there, and then I've taken this section of the aft cabin right here out. I was going to take that section out also, but the multi-tool overheated on me, and so I'm having to wait for it to cool off. So I went ahead and cleaned up, and it's going on 4 o'clock, and I need to actually go and let the dogs out. So I guess I'm going to call it a day. Didn't get as much done as I had hoped to. It is hot in here, and I'm hot, hot and sweaty. But you know, did get some done. Next, that one little piece in the aft cabin there, and that'll take a couple of minutes once I get the saw cooled down. That's the problem with this battery operated multi-tool. Well, actually it's not the battery, I don't think. It's just that it heats up so easily. There's a lot of friction generated cutting through this 1/2-inch material, and so it heats the saw up pretty good, the power head. And if you're not careful, it'll quit. So then you have to let it cool, and it takes 30-40 minutes before it'll be ready to use again. So that's kind of a pain. Almost a corded head. A corded one might be a little bit better, but I don't have one. All I have is the battery powered one, so that's the one I'm going to be using. Anyway, I'm not sure how this plywood's going to come up. I'm hoping that I don't have to cut it away, but I think it's going to be the same situation where I have to cut it away in the same places that I had to cut the other piece of plywood. So I'm going to be cutting that again, I have a feeling. But anyway, we'll see as I get ready to go. Pretty soon, I think, get that last piece out, and then we'll start pulling up this floor, see what's underneath there, and start doing any kind of repair work that we need to do. And then I think after that, I think what we'll do is we're just going to thoroughly clean everything. We'll leave the floor out, thoroughly clean the bilge, clean everything, so we wash everything into the bilge and then wash it all out. Just thoroughly clean everything, then get a chance to paint the bilge, seal in any kind of smells. We'll get some bilge coat, a 2-part epoxy type paint for heavy, thick paint for bilges, and just paint that hole, slop it in there and paint it all. And then where we can't paint because there's too much stuff in the way, we'll just clean it thoroughly with a spray hose, I think, and a brush and maybe some detergent. I don't know. We'll see. And then once we're done with all of that, cleaning everything, get everything wiped off, everything cleaned, then we'll come back with the new subfloor, and we'll get that in. And I think I'm just going to leave the subfloor in for a while. And I don't want to put the teak and holly down until all the construction is done inside. So if there's anything else that needs to be cut away or taken down or taken out, like the stove or anything like that, I think I'll wait to put the floor down until after that's done, because I don't want to ding the floor. I want the floor to be the last thing. But we can put the subfloor in, the new subfloor, get this old nasty floor out of here. Maybe we can start with the smell in here, this old stinky dank smell. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Keep coming back. We'll show you more and more as we go. The next bit should be us taking up the subfloor and getting a view of under. See what's under there. Boy, I have a feeling there's going to be some places like in the center here where we can't lift it up, where there's wet bilge. I have a feeling we're going to see some creatures, maybe some cockroaches. I don't know. I hope not. I haven't seen any crawling around, but a water bug or two in here maybe. I don't know. I haven't seen any. I haven't seen any dead bodies or anything, so anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, for those of you that subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, I've got something in my eye. Please consider subscribing. It helps us a lot if you would. And then make comments too, please. We love to hear from you guys. And again, we don't really know what we're doing. We're just learning as we go along here. So if there's someone out there who knows better than we do, please speak up. I'd love to hear what you have to say. If there's a better way to do something, please tell me. But until we see you again, fair winds and following seas. Bye.